This guy is breadcrumbing me right now so hard. Like every time I pull away, he sends me like a thoughtful text, and then he like won't respond to my stuff for like 24 hours, and then he'll like come back in with something that I feel like I have to respond to because I'm like, well, that is thoughtful. And it's just like, ugh. It is so annoying, and it's like so obvious what he's doing, you know, it's like so transparent.
There's one thing worse than being ghosted by a man, and that's breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is when a guy leads you on, whether it's through text or through promises, but the relationship never actually progresses. Whenever you're confused about a guy, always take away his words and judge him by his actions. If a guy is breadcrumbing you, that means he is not giving you the level of effort that you would want in a man, which means that it's gonna hurt, but you have to walk away and raise your standards so that you only entertain men who are not hot and cold with you.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So in today's video, we are talking about breadcrumbing. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're familiar with what breadcrumbing is, or even if you're not, you've gone through it as an experience. So in this video, I have a compilation for you guys that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Women sharing their different experiences, women sharing what they think you should do when a guy is breadcrumbing you, and all that. So ladies, without wasting your time, let's jump right into the video, and then I'll be back to give my take on this video.
You have to feed a man breadcrumbs. That's what they need to eat. This is what men do to women. They give you breadcrumbs for multiple reasons. They may not be interested in you, or you're doing way too much for that man. So in return, he thinks he don't have to do much for you. So now he's giving you breadcrumbs. But let me say this. Out of all those women he's dealing with, because let's face it, when a man give you breadcrumbs, they're dealing with other women. Somebody in that bunch, he's willing to give his all to. And guess who that woman is? The girl that's breadcrumbing him. The girl that's not kissing his ass. The girl that's selfish. The girl that got a life. The girl that says, oh, let me call you back, and never calls back. The girl that don't have a problem canceling the date. That girl. The girl that's dealing with multiple men. That girl. That's the girl you have to be. He's going to be willing to do whatever because you're speaking his language. Serving breadcrumbs. That's what all men need.
This is how you know someone is breadcrumbing you. Hi, hello, it's Anne. Please watch till the very end. For those of you who do not know what breadcrumbing is when someone shows interest to keep you interested, but has no intention of actually being with you. So in other words, they love the attention and they're leading you on. Let's go. 1. Inconsistent contact. It's always nice and great in the beginning, you know, you're getting to know each other. The replies are coming in fast. The interest is there. But the moment they feel like you love talking to them, they're going to kind of pull back, like they're not going to really talk to you anymore. 2, they always avoid talking about the future with you. 3, it is extremely shallow conversations. Like the conversations never ever get too deep. 4, the moment that you start to show that you are no longer interested, that's when they come back and they try to reel you back in again. And 5, you are constantly confused. One day they like you, the next day they don't. The moment you decide you're fed up and you don't want to deal with this anymore, so you distance yourself, they start to come in hot and they're just like, no, come back, please. So if you feel like someone is leading you on, or you feel like someone's playing games with you, first of all, it is not your fault, and I do not want you blaming yourself for this. Whatever their excuse is has nothing to do with you. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You deserve someone that is sure of you. Someone that is going to reciprocate effort. And someone that feels so lucky to be getting to know you.
Coach, why is he breadcrumbing me? Now, breadcrumbing is a term where the guy is giving you just enough to keep you on the hook. He's calling you just enough. He's doing just enough to keep you excited about the relationship. And then you wonder why. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why he might be breadcrumbing you. Number 1, because you ruined it by chasing him. At the end of the day, a woman should never chase a man. I understand initiating, but never chase him. Number 2, you set the bar so low. Remember this, y'all. A man will only rise to the standards that you create for him. That includes me. Number 3, you slept with him too soon. And I always tell people there's an amazing thing that happens when you have sex. There's a dopamine release, there's an oxytocin release, and sometimes it releases, you don't know the man yet. Number 4, you have given him the assurance that he is the only one that you're seeing. And that in itself is not good, all right? Because a man has to believe that he's in competition, that there could be somebody else. As soon as you say, you're my guy, you're the only guy, and he hasn't given you a commitment, not good. And last but not least, because you accept it, he does it because you.
Every single one of y'all will sit here and say, I don't like when a man breadcrumbs me. Well, if you don't like being breadcrumbed, why the you still eating the crumbs? You are still eating these crumbs you say you don't like from a man. You keep telling me that he's making you do things. The only thing this man is doing is dropping crumbs. And what the you doing? Newsflash. A man can't breadcrumb a woman that refuses to get on her hands and feet and eat them. Well, the question is, what parts of your spirit leads you to believe that the best you can do is crumbs of attention from a man? That in order for him to see your value, that you have to prove to him that you are willing to get on your hands and feet and eat off the floor of desperation just to get this man to notice you. Y'all profess to be queens, but peasants eat crumbs off the floor. If a man can't match your energy, queen the up and walk the out.
Stop letting guys breadcrumb you. If you have to continually ask what y'all are, if y'all are gonna be anything, 9 times out of 10, y'all aren't gonna be anything. He already knows who his favorite sports team is. He knows who his favorite player is. He doesn't have to think about that. But when you ask him what y'all are, why does he always have to think about it? Because he doesn't want to be with you. Men are always sure about what they want. And if you're not what he wants, stop letting him breadcrumb you and move on from that toxic shit.
Hi, I'm a typical narcissist. I know, I'm in a relationship with you, and since the love bombing stage at the beginning of our relationship, you have completely devalued me. Yeah, I'm already chasing new supply behind your back. Aren't you scared that I'll leave? No, I know that you'll stick around if I just give you a little attention once in a while. True, I'm already in too deep, so I end up accepting your breadcrumbs of affection. Great. Over time, I'll give you less and less. Yeah, and if I'm in denial, I'll desperately focus on the few good times. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it's a great manipulation tactic. I need to leave you. Then I'll go back to love bombing you. Ugh.
Men with avoidant attachment need to breadcrumb you because your validation is their lifeline, but they don't want more than that because that would be overwhelming and threatening to them. See, they also need love and connection, but for some reason, love was deemed unsafe, so they block themselves to it, and that includes blocking you. So just a little, but definitely not too much. That said, only a woman who is available to follow that trail of crumbs will experience the emotional roller coaster that goes along with it. So my queen, let's reframe the question. It isn't why do they breadcrumb, because that's their own wounding. The question is, why are you attracted to that kind of a relationship? When you realize that it's likely linked to your abandonment and that you actually don't deserve it, then your whole energy and behaviors will change too.
What does it really mean to say we're not doing this anymore? So for example, if you're someone who typically chases someone when they breadcrumb you, when they ghost you, or they become really inconsistent, that's something that you're going to need to look at. So for example, self-check time. If they, start to breadcrumb you, they start to fall back, they get really inconsistent, what's your next move? Are you going to chase them? Or are you going to take a step back and say, wait a minute, this chase isn't for me anymore? But guess what? Now you're triggered because that chase typically helps you allay some of the anxiety and the fears that you have about the situation. So what you're going to do in that moment is self-soothing. We talk a lot about self-soothing here. I want you to look up on Pinterest self-soothing strategies. Next, I want you to start journaling about how you feel, and remember that these feelings, these little negative thoughts that you're having about yourself, they're temporary. Then block, delete, and bless them.
We all know a guy who perhaps we've slept with or perhaps we've been on a few dates with who has then friend-zoned us. Congratulations to him. He's had the courage to actually give you that clarity. However, this guy continues to send you suggestive texts every now and then. This is actually breadcrumbing, and I'm going to teach you what you need to say to let him know that you're not here for his breadcrumbs and that you respect yourself and you deserve respect from him. Usually these suggestive texts are going to be about either dreams or massages, and I know this because on the flip side, I help reverse engineer curating chemistry in a connection, and these are the types of messages that I suggest. So he's going to send one of these suggestive texts, and what you need to respond with is, lol, I thought you just wanted to be friends. Keep it simple, keep it cute. If he's like most men out there that use breadcrumbing as a technique to keep women mildly interested, then he's going to respond with something along the lines of, haha, yeah, but friends can massage each other, right? Now it's time for you to be assertive. So your response needs to be, no, I know the difference between friends that can massage each other and friends who don't massage each other. He's going to respond with something typical like, I was just joking, or I'm just playing with you, which is classic deflection. Put your foot down by saying, when you work out what you want, let me know. Then he'll extend a slight olive branch and say, no, I love being friends with you and I'm just playing around. And here's where it is most important for you to be assertive. You're going to snap his olive branch by saying to him, yeah, well, you can save those text messages about massages or dreams for those other friends who might be more appropriate. He's not going to respond, but what he will know is that you respect yourself and you value yourself and you deserve more than his breadcrumbing.
If you're tired of being the type of person that gets breadcrumbed all the time, take a walk with me. For clarity, breadcrumbing is when the person that you're interested in, and yes, this can be a friend or acquaintance, gives you just enough time, attention, and affection to keep you coming back for more. And they do this without developing a more meaningful relationship with you. And it leaves you thinking, well, what happened? What's going on? This don't make no sense. And if you don't know what it looks like, here's 5 signs that you're being breadcrumbed. Number 1 is inconsistent communication, which can leave all you anxious attachers out there wondering, what did I do wrong? And what I tell you next, I need you to set this as your default way of being. I want you to ask yourself in this moment, this behavior that you're experiencing, is it in alignment with your goals, your values, and your standards for a relationship with you? Number 2, they make vague plans with you that are often non-committal and cancel at the last minute. Oh man, we should totally hang out soon. I would love that. Number 3, they display minimal effort. The messages that you share and the interactions that you have with them often seem generic. They might give you a one-word response after you've been waiting 3 days. But you're so love-hungry that by the time you get that message, you're like, yes, I knew they liked me. But when you think back to the conversations that you've had with this person, they don't really share much about their life, and they definitely don't ask you about yours. Number 4 is they display hot and cold behavior. They might be super interested one week and you go on an amazing date, and then next week, you don't hear from them. You get left on red thinking, what did I do wrong? I don't get it. Because everybody loves a mystery, your brain is just going, give me more. This is usually where we ignore our intuition and the red flags that we're observing. Number 5, and this is why I say social media doesn't really matter. They will watch your stories, comment on your posts, send you funny memes, and write messages. And in modern dating, that feels like you're connecting. But you're not. It's super low effort that's often done from the toilet. So do yourself a favor. It's time to get tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to your goals, values, and standards for a relationship with you. And if you need help with that, book a one-on-one. And be sure to check out the 21-day self-love challenge.
Are you being breadcrumbed by the person that you're dating and you have no idea what to say to them? I'm going to tell you the 2 text messages that you can send. But first, these text messages can only go if they have messaged you first. please don't send them a text message if you've not heard from them for a few days, weeks, months. It really is pointless you trying to set boundaries with somebody if they haven't reached out to you first. But before we get into the juicy stuff, if what I say here resonates with you, you are going to want to be inside my completely free Facebook group. It's called Attract the Love You Want. There's a picture down below. Come and find me and let's go deeper on all of these sorts of things. So the first one, and this is my preference, the inconsistency of our communication and our texting doesn't really work for me, so I've decided to move on. Please take care of yourself and good luck on your journey. Simple. You don't want to send anything more. You don't need to give him any more explanations. You know he's not that into you. The inconsistency in his messaging is like the biggest sign that he's not that into you. So say bye-bye, delete his number for good everywhere, unfollow him on social media, and move on to somebody who does value you and want a relationship with you. You do not owe somebody who's breadcrumbed you anything more than that. The inconsistency of our communication and our texting and that isn't really working for me. Can we jump on a call? Do not have these heavy conversations, any heavy conversation, by voice note or text. If you're not going to get what you want, you need to see the white of their eyes. If it's on FaceTime, if you're like in person, you need to hear the tone in their voice. What does it actually mean? That everything is going to be telling you signals. And if you just have a text conversation, things get misconstrued. Sometimes we actually think more of it than it actually is. So do the phone call, do the FaceTime, do something where you have eye-to-eye contact or you can hear their voice. And what if you don't hear from them? I think that's brilliant because they've just deselected themselves from your life. And then you can officially move on without actually even thinking that things could progress and that they can't give you any pathetic excuses or lie to you, which sends you down the garden path for a little bit longer. Look, I generally say if they're inconsistent, don't message them. But if you can't leave it, you can't let it go without sending this last message, that last ditch attempt, then these are the only two messages you should send.
The next time you're being breadcrumbed, this is what I want you to do. Breadcrumbing being that thing that can happen in early dating and really in all relationships where somebody is giving you just enough, right? Just enough time, energy, and attention to keep you thinking, all right, where's this going? But Flirty, you cannot live on crumbs. Repeat after me. I will not live on crumbs. I want a meal, which is what you deserve. And before you say Benjamin, if someone's breadcrumbing you, just cut them off. Block, delete, no contact. If that is what you want to do, go on with your bad self. Do it. But if you want to have a conversation, this is how you're going to have it. You've been on a few dates. The breadcrumbs are like, they're tasting okay. So you want to at least see, all right, what's up? You can send them a text. It could be a phone call, even in person. I am good with any of those options. I'm really interested in continuing to get to know you, but it's hard for me to tell because there's not a lot of consistent communication dates, right? You fill in the blank here. What fits your particular situation? And then you follow that up with an I statement. I value more consistent communication, more dates. Fill in the blank. And then follow it up with a question. What about you? How do you feel? You're now in a conversation which stands to propel this connection, this perhaps new relationship forward. You're going to talk about some good stuff, what you both value, need, want out of dating. And then it's going to be up to, honestly, both of you to show up differently based on what y'all talked about. Because I also know what you're thinking here. Benjamin, I'm having this conversation, and what if he just lies to me? What if he just tells me some stuff he thinks I want to hear that sounds good, and then he doesn't actually do anything different? That's a real possibility, in which case you now know exactly how he's going to show up for you. The whole point of this being is you're just getting to know someone and know yourself in the context of this new connection. Breadcrumbs can sometimes happen, and maybe you're the one doing a little bit of breadcrumbing yourself. You're moving through this with a little bit of trepidation. Your guard is up a bit, and I understand, which is why if you want to, you talk about it. If you want to go no contact, delete, remove, block, all of those things with someone you think is breadcrumbing you, of course, y'all, that is still an option. But you cannot go through your life just cutting people off when they don't meet you where you think they should. Instead, you can communicate. And that is what this video is all about. My name is Benjamin. I'm the flirt coach. Like and follow for more dating tips.
Don't be letting nobody out here breadcrumb you. And what I mean by that is that don't let somebody just do enough just to keep you around. For example, if you're talking to somebody and they disappear for 2 to 3 days and then just hit you up out the blue, talk about, hey, Like, what the fuck are you, Batman, and you were fighting crime? Like, don't come over here insulting my intelligence. You better go back where the fuck you came from. There be people out here that are clowns that are trying to bring you to the circus with them. You have to set a certain standard when allowing certain people into your life, because your life doesn't consist of what somebody else wants it to be. You have to set certain boundaries, and you have to let people know what the fuck are you not willing to accept. You got some people out here that will try to remix what they did to their ex-partner that left them to you, to see if you're willing to accept what their ex-partner did. And that's exactly when you have to block them and put them on the pay no mind list, because don't ever let nobody take you for no fool. Because if you allow them to get away with doing malicious things to you, you're just as much as a clown as they are. Your life is not like baseball where you have 3 strikes. You do me dirty one time and you're out of here, point blank. Stop letting people play you like you're a game. You're not an arcade game, you're not a pinball machine. So let people treat you with respect. And if they can't give you common courtesy of showing you respect, then they need to get the fuck out your life.
All right, hey beautiful boss divas. Now, we are talking about the pull away phase, and we're doing a pull away phase series so that you guys can be able to survive, thrive, and overcome the pull away phase. It is a legit real thing, and it's biochemical. So if you follow my tips and techniques, then you'll be able to survive it with flying colors. Now, what if he's still contacting you when he's going through the pull away phase? Because divas, just because a man is still in contact with you, sending you a text here or there, doesn't mean he's not in the pull away phase. That's the pull away phase. If his efforts have decreased and he is not doing the same things he was doing before, calling you as much, texting you as much, trying to see you, then that means he is in the pull away phase. Now, he can be indefinitely in the breadcrumbing phase if you do not handle this properly. Breadcrumbing is when he is giving you just enough to keep you hanging on while still not really doing anything significant in order to show that he is serious about you. So if a man starts to just not really call that much, he's just sending you a text here or there, stop answering. Stop answering. As soon as you feel like he's no longer inviting you out on dates, he is not picking up the phone, he is not really making an effort, then disappear. You have a life. You are busy. Go do something with yourself. Go date 3 men. That's, divas, I can't emphasize this enough. That's why I tell you to date 3 men at a time. Because when you are a confident dating diva, then you're not worried about what man is pulling away. You're not looking at your phone checking to say, oh my God, like, why isn't so-and-so? Why hasn't he called my phone? You're too busy living your life and trying to find the best option for you. So when it comes to dating, you are dating. Just because you guys are dating doesn't mean you're committed. When you are dating, it is your job to interview, to vet, to get to know multiple options to see which option is the best and most serious option for you. Because the decision of choosing that life partner is too important for you to let it be a default to the one guy who shows up acting like he cares about you. So choose wisely and act accordingly. And if you want any more of my help, then make sure you join our Patreon Divahood, where I'm going to give you detailed training on how to go from day one, step by step, on how to attract your romantic best friend by becoming the best version of yourself and learning the science of attraction. I hope that helps.
Hi everybody, Nicole K here. I want to talk about how to cut off a guy in an empowering way that is breadcrumbing you, and precisely why you cannot cut him off. Why is it so difficult? Why can't you find the right words? Why can't you just cut the fucker off? Here's a guy that you have overgiven to and overgiven to and overgiven to. Your energy is depleted and knows that it's given too much, and therefore it is very difficult for you to cut him off because your energy needs your energy back. And so even though you don't even know that all this is going on, it doesn't matter which way you do it or which way you say it to him, it still sounds like you're defending, complaining, feeling like a victim, which is a disempowering thing to do. And so you put it off and you put it off, because not only did you get fucked over by this idiot by giving him so much and him giving you fuck all back, but now you're torn in energies because you want your energy back and you want him to be A, B, and C. And so you're fucking stuck in ghost land, wilting. The first thing, the first line of defense is not to have any. He's breadcrumbed you. He used to text, now he hardly texts. He hardly does anything. Fuck all for you. You have to teach him how to love you, how to do. Why doesn't he say this? Why doesn't he help you? Why doesn't he support you? So you negate all that. And you've got to understand, he's like a little boy that is offering you marbles, saying, here. And you're a grown bitch ass woman, and they're like not pearls or diamonds, and so you can't accept them. And so every time you accept this little shit from him, you're accepting marbles, not the real thing. And so this is all you say, imagining that this is a boy giving you marbles, not pearls. Look at him, don't text it, and say to him, I appreciate all the time and effort and money you've put into this relationship. So the first thing you're doing is you're acknowledging that the best that he can do was the best that he could do. Like, he's mentally ill. He's a femme guy. Can't do more than that. So you're going to say, I really appreciate all the time and effort and texting and everything you've put, especially the money part, into our relationship, but I'm not fulfilled, so I'll be letting you go. Bye. And you block him. Empowered way of cutting out.
Here are 2 texts you can send if you're being breadcrumbed. One is going to end it, and one is going to gain clarity. You'd pick your poison. And remember, this is only if they text you. Please do not reach out to somebody unsolicited to set boundaries when they haven't even tried to reach out to you. Hey, I don't appreciate the inconsistency with our communication, and I've decided to move on. I wish you all the best and take care. You don't owe them shit. You told them that you're not into it. You told them that you've moved on. Now call it a day, delete the fucking number, and go on to somebody that is going to actually give you a lot more than just a morsel of a crumb to keep your attention on the hook. Hey, our communication feels really inconsistent and that doesn't work for me. Are you available for a phone call? I'd like to just clear things up. Don't have these conversations via text. Do it in person, on the phone, FaceTime, whatever it is, face to face so that they can actually see tonality and hear your fucking voice. If they don't answer, great, they did you a favor. If they answer and give you some kind of lukewarm bullshit, great, now you know where you stand. But at the very least, if you want to give this one last hurrah and you don't want to walk away without at least trying, there you go, you can give them the option. And then you can decide that you want to move on from this.
3 things to say to someone that's breadcrumbing you. Breadcrumbing is basically when someone gives you just enough attention, just enough texts, calls, hanging out, like just enough to keep you holding on without actually really giving you much of anything. Breadcrumbing you, stringing you along, essentially. Now, I think the really important thing to remember here is that we should learn to view these type of actions as just unattractive. If someone is stringing you along and giving you just enough to keep you interested in hanging on, but really aren't willing to actually give you much of anything and commit, that's just extremely unattractive. So we need to learn to start pre-programming our minds to just be immediately like icked out by that, because it is gross. Now that we are just officially finding breadcrumbing extremely unattractive, we're not saying these things to get somebody to like come closer and be the person that we want them to be. We're really basically just telling them to go away in creative and kind of funny ways. So he's been breadcrumbing you and he comes back. It's been like a week or 2. He really hasn't given you much. He's probably been out with other people and seen what else is out there and then got a little bored and came back around, as they always do. Thing number 1 that you're gonna say, or option number 1, is gonna, I thought that this had some potential. I'm no longer really seeing that. Wishing you well though. Option number 2 is, hey, you know, I thought that this could possibly go somewhere. It appears we're not on the same page, so I'm no longer interested. Wishing you well though. Option 3 is gonna be, you know, I've thought about it and I'm just really not into inconsistent communication, but I hope you find what you're looking for. Wishing you well. We always wish them well. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 of funny things to say to people that breadcrumb you. Bye.
Here are 3 things to do if a man is currently breadcrumbing you, which, like, ew. Number 1, reflect his energy back to him. So if he's not texting you, you are not texting him. He's not calling, you're not calling, XYZ. Remember, the most expensive thing you have as a woman is your energy and attention. So all these fuckboys, they literally like feed off women's attention, and that's why they have like 10 of them around, because they're so insecure and it makes their egos feel so important because 10 women want to text them back. Ew, like you're better than that. If a man isn't making the conscious effort to schedule dates and to see you, then he is not worthy of your time, period. Stop seeing it as you want to be enough. You want to earn his love and affection, and see it as he's literally a fuckboy. He's down here. He's not worthy of your time. You want a boyfriend material man up here who knows how to book the res, who knows to send you flowers on Valentine's Day. Like, that's the boyfriend you need to hold out for. I truly in my heart believe there are some men you cannot win with. You will become exhausted in the pursuit of trying to win over a fuckboy. And at the end of the day, you know what you get? You know what the prize is? A fuckboy who's a horrible boyfriend because he doesn't know how to be a boyfriend. Cut your losses. There are some men you simply cannot win with. And why would you want to? Which leads me to point 2. Ask yourself, is it really this man or is it the chase? A lot of times our egos want that validation of, okay, he thinks I'm enough. Okay, I'm special to this guy who has 10 women. Oh my gosh, I feel so validated. You can choose yourself. You can validate yourself. And if you really need that validation, seek it in another way. Obtain it by being the one woman who walked away from this fuckboy and held her head high and said, you know what, you're not good enough for me. You see what I said? I'm not good enough to be your girlfriend. You're not good enough to even get a text back from me. That's the vibe. All of you women out there need to remember your worth. And you are worthy of more than a breadcrumb. And then point 3 is to start dating other people. A lot of times when you're only seeing one person or in communication with one man, it's really easy to get swept up in the chase or the pursuit. But when you are dating multiple people, it's going to broaden your horizons and you're going to see that there are men out there who treat women well. And I know you're all in my comments like, none of them do. They do, you guys. They do. I found a few. So you just have to look hard. And you have to have the story that there are great guys out there. They're just rare. Instead of all men are trash. It's like when you say that, your subconscious seeks to prove yourself right. So change the story within your head. That's step 1. But when you have other options on the table, it's a lot easier to kind of kick this loser guy to the curb because you have other people to focus your attention on, other people who are reciprocating your effort. And so this guy is breadcrumbing you. You're like, you're nothing compared to this guy who's like booked me a Michelin star restaurant. You know what I mean? It's just so much easier to be like, bye. Truly ask yourself, this guy is breadcrumbing you. Would you want your best friend to date him? Would you want your daughter to date him? Probably not. Your daughter and your best friend are worthy of a man who knows how special they are when he has them. And so are you, babe. Love yourself more than the idea of this man loving you. Beat him at his own game. Instead of wanting him to choose you, choose your fucking self. Because when you choose yourself, it's reflected back to you in all areas of your life. And you beat this man at his own game. And I'm telling you guys, rest in the knowing. When you walk away from a guy who's breadcrumbing you, like clockwork, he will come back around. But by the time he comes back, you will have leveled up. That's how you win. You're like, that's so cute that you like me now. Because I'm with a man. I've leveled up so much more. It's never not happened.
So ladies, I'm back to give my take on this video. I don't have much to say on this video because I don't think I've dealt with breadcrumbing after my last relationship because I really don't entertain men that breadcrumb me. Once I notice like you're giving me low effort, the kind of effort they've said that is minimal effort usually done from the toilet. Once I notice you're giving me that kind of effort, I tend to withdraw. I tend to just lose interest because I know I deserve more. I know I deserve your attention. I know my personality is, I know my vibe is 100. Like I have that level of self-awareness. So anyway, ladies, like I've not dealt with breadcrumbing after that relationship because, well, let me tell you something. And by the way, when you deal with any narcissists, they'll tend to breadcrumb you at some point. At first, it's usually love bombing, and then they get to this point whereby they do small things just to keep you interested. That's breadcrumbing. That's when they start to devalue you and then later discard you, if you know anything about narcissistic abuse. And how to know you're being breadcrumbed? Like the interactions never feel deep. Like the interactions are usually surface level, like nothing too much, nothing too intimate. Like they're usually just, it's like a friend talking to you. It's like a long time schoolmate who you talked to 10 years ago who's talking to you. Like the interactions feel that way. Like me personally, like you gotta go deep to find me. So if you're not going deep, like I need depth. Deep relationships need depth. Like if you're not taking me there, if you're not getting to know me on a deeper level, like I don't want none of it. Like I don't want it. I don't want that minimal effort. I don't want all that shit. I don't want to spend all my energy. Like energy is currency. Don't spend it on the wrong person, ladies. Like I don't want to spend all my good and beautiful and sacred and pure, no ill intention energy on someone who's not giving me even one of those things I listed. Like, okay, I'm just good. Like, I can just invest that energy on me, on my kid, and the people who love me. Like, I can invest that energy on them, because ladies, don't deal with a man who breadcrumbs you. These are the type of men who will drain you. And men will take and take and take and take. Not all men, but some men will take. The men who are on demon time, they'll take from you until you're no more, until you're a shell of yourself, until you can't even remember what you like, who you like, what makes you happy. Like you don't know yourself. Like some of these men will get you to that point. Some of these men will sabotage you so much. Like they'll keep you confused so that you cannot even focus on the things that really matter. They just keep you interested just to get your attention, and then they disappear. Like me personally, I can't deal with any of that bullshit. Like me personally, I'm too grown for that. Like I'll tend to catch it before you even thought I caught it. And I won't even overreact. No. I won't be sending you long paragraphs. No. I'm just the type who will pretend everything is okay and wake up 2 days later and block you at 2 a.m. That's who I am. Like, I'll just tend to withdraw completely from the situation without anything. Because there's no way. Once I realize, like, the game you're playing, and once I give it time to, like, really play out, and you think like I don't notice, that's a sign of you thinking I'm dumb, first of all. That's a sign of you thinking you can get away with anything with me. And how to hold you accountable is just to disappear. No, I won't explain myself, because people know what they are doing out here. Ladies, people know what they are doing out here. Don't let these men play with you. They know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. They know that they know you deserve much better. They know you're a good woman. But some of them don't want to go the long run with you. They just want to keep you interested enough so that they can have access to you sexually or in any other way. Don't be that woman who is used for those types of purposes. So ladies, if you notice a man is not making this conscious effort to, like, intentional effort to, like, do things for you or, like, hear you out, like he's not paying attention, that man is breadcrumbing you. That man is taking you for granted. That man is wasting your time. He's taking you for a ride. So ladies, be very aware. Like, be very aware of certain tactics that are used. And me personally, there's nothing that angers me like that. Like, once you notice you're giving me low effort, once I meet a guy, I give him, like, the longest time he cannot. He should have my number before taking me on a date is 1 month. That's the longest time. Like, if after 1 month you've not made any conscious effort to, like, do anything for me, take me out, get to know me, like, I just can tend to, like, block it and just move, because we are not wasting time over here. Like, I don't want to be on your contact list for, like, 8 years, never done anything for me, always talking to me. Like, I don't want to be that woman. I'd rather not deal with you, because if you are so serious about me, you wouldn't wait a month. Let's be honest. These men know when they're wasting your time. These men know they don't like you but want to keep you interested. They don't like you, but they don't want to see anyone else with you. That's the thing. Most of these men don't like you, especially when you're ambitious, you know what you're doing, you're beautiful. They'll tend to humble you that way. They'll tend to, like, keep you interested, waste your time. Like, men do that. Men are also jealous of women, and one of the ways they'll abuse you is through your emotions. They'll weaponize your emotions against you. They'll weaponize other things against you. So ladies, please be careful of who you give your raw emotions, who, like, you get to give access to know you at a deeper level. Please be very careful. Some people are on demon time. Some people are monitoring you, monitoring spirits. I believe people who breadcrumb you are monitoring spirits, because they tend to go, they come back, they want to know what you're doing. They tend to maintain that small effort to keep you interested enough as they're doing what they're doing, as they're running around. No, don't be that woman who is in the bench. Don't be a placeholder. Don't be none of those women for these men. Stop showing up for these men in certain ways. No, don't. Please, 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 please. Let it be transactional. Let it be transactional. Please ask yourself, what am I getting from this man? What am I getting from him by being in this relationship? Because if it's just sex, then I don't see why you're in that relationship, because I think sex you can get from anywhere else. Like, I don't need to be in a relationship for sex. Like, that's wasting my time. Anyway, ladies, we've come to the end of this video. I didn't have a lot to say in this video. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm not so low. I really enjoyed this conversation. I don't know about you. So I'd love to know in the comments, did you enjoy this video? What do you think about breadcrumbing? Have you ever been breadcrumbed before? Please drop the tea. Let me know in the comments. So ladies, I'll see you in my next video. But until then, please treat yourself nice and please take care out there. Bye.